Hello world, it's the 29th Climate Change Awareness Rally here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's July 12th, 2019. The next one will be July 19th at 6:30 a.m. I have a lot to do on the next Friday. So I got a ton of stuff to talk about, or I could just end it right now and say that things aren't getting done, and the politicians that are running for office on the Democratic side of the United States don't fully understand the situation, the dire situation we're in. One of the few, Bernie Sanders, evidently is saying that we have 12 years tacked on us, which is absolutely false. Right now we are in climate change, in an extinction event. All the events that's happening around the world, we really don't have time to be goofing off and saying we have 12 years. It is an inaccurate statement, and Bernie has his head correctly on, but his actions and his words aren't there. Jay Inslee from Washington is probably the only one that's even close to recognizing the situation, and he's losing all power. He's not gonna get the nomination at all. So most likely we'll get a political insider on the Democratic side, and I really don't need to say much about Donald Trump except that he is absolutely going to kill everyone on the planet. You know, his policies. I don't care as far as the person goes, whether he's an idiot or a megalomaniac or a fascist or whatever. The problem is that his environmental policies and his attitude towards climate change is just way off base, and we're absolutely going to die. If he gets reelected, you can knock another 5 years off of everything probably, and you know, you really are looking at 2026 for an extinction event if he comes into power or stays in power. I don't know what the new president can do as far as mitigating the situation, but most definitely if Trump stays in, we're all dead. And you can say it's a political statement, say that, but it's absolute scientific fact. We have no desire to fix the situation, and the CO2 levels getting out of control, and there's no push from the administration to solve the situation or try to mitigate it. So yeah, we're going to die, and probably with the Democrat that comes into power, we're probably going to die too, but at least there's a chance. Most likely though, what you need is someone from another party, which it doesn't have in the United States. It's a two-party system, and there's no desire to bring on a third party who can actually fix things. So a political solution won't work. An economic one won't work if you're staying in the guise of capitalism, and you can't buy your way out of this. You know, you got to have the will to get off fossil fuels altogether and stop at zero, and I know that's an impossibility. So there's probably a little chance that we can get out of this situation. I mean, you might be talking 50 years, 20 years, 30 years. Frankly, I believe by 2030, 2026, for all intents and purposes, we're extincted. But we can try and plant trees and do what we need to do along the way, and at least do the right thing and give it a shot. But right now, America is going to drag the whole world under, and it's a shame. And China is doing our bidding for us as far as manufacturing our crap and the junk for the world, and that needs to stop as well. So without the two powers, China and the United States being on board, there is absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. I don't mean little chance. There's no chance of survival. So in the United States, you don't see insects anymore. As a kid, I used to be able to drive down the highway with my parents, and you'd have to stop every 100 miles and wipe off the windshield due to all the insects. And now you can drive all the way to North Carolina back, hit one on your windshield. It's an indication insects have collapsed, and you need them for fertilizing the plants, pollinating the plants and whatnot. Brazil is intent with Bolsonaro in charge of ripping down the rainforest. As you can tell right here in this area, it's quite weak. So they love making noise, and I did that in my day too. But there's a time to change. And Wilma's here to help protest. Hey Wilma. So and she's her slant is about the Democratic debate, which is right on par. They're not going to have a debate, and they're voting to debate whether to have a debate, which is absolute insanity. So you got Brazil with Bolsonaro in the rainforest, who's intent on just tearing it all down, getting the resources out. And the rainforests are the lungs of the earth, and without the rainforest, again, we're going to die. The Great Barrier Reefs are an indication, they're a canary in a coal mine, that they're dying quickly due to overheating of the oceans, and the acidification is going way off the scale, but I think it's mostly heating of the oceans that's killing the barrier reefs. Could be wrong on that. India last month had 122 or 124 degrees, doesn't matter after 120, I think not. Australia over the winter, our winter, their summer had 122, 124 degrees as well. to the Boston, the other islands. So they're in trouble due to rising of the waters. You have the permafrost in Alaska right now, which is melting extremely fast due to their temperatures hitting 90, 93 degrees, and in the past the high has been 61. So just an example of a climate change going up north, and with the permafrost melting, you get methane escaping, and also you get wildfires. So that's more carbon going in the atmosphere, and less plants to absorb the carbon dioxide. But you get the moss and the peat also catching fire and whatever else is on the tundra. So you got flooding in New Orleans right now. It's not just a normal hurricane situation. What you're having is a tropical storm that's sitting and spinning for 3 days in a row. So you're looking at a massive amount of rain being dumped in one area. And this happened to Houston 2 years ago, and that they got 5 feet of rain, 60 inches of rain, which is insanity, as high as a person's head. And New Orleans could very well get there. Right now they're predicting 9 or 10 inches, but if it doesn't move, they're in trouble, even more trouble. You have the glaciers melting, which is an extreme amount of weight up in Greenland and also Antarctica. And with that, my theory is, and I've read some articles on it, that you get the unweighting on the land of the glaciers, but then a side effect is that weight transfers from the land to the oceans. So what can happen is that you get plate tectonic shifts, which can lead to earthquakes, and I think volcanism as well, volcanoes going off. So you have the glaciers melting, and then you have the North Pole, which is the ice up there. Eventually you have a blue ocean event, and which is an albedo reflective event, which they, while there's snow, the sun reflects in the atmosphere. But when that is gone, then what you have is a blue water event, and then the sun gets absorbed by the ocean instead of being shot back into space. And so the temperature is just like your drink with ice in it at a party starts going up exponentially temperature-wise. And what the scary part of that is that it not only heats up the Arctic, but it also there's methane flat rates, which are frozen pieces of methane in the bottom of the ocean. And methane is a killer greenhouse gas that's 100 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Also in Antarctica, the other side of the globe, you have the Thwaites Glacier, which is in danger of breaking off. And if that breaks off, I think it raises sea level some crazy amount. I don't know, about a meter or 3 meters or whatever. But what it is a bottle, a stopper in the bottle. And then once that goes, then it allows other glaciers to start sliding into the ocean, which again will raise up sea levels. Europe just went through a heat wave of over 100 degrees. And eventually they'll get even higher ones, and you're going to see thousands of people dying there because a lot of the houses there have metal roofs, in Paris especially, and it becomes an easy bake oven. And without air conditioning or with the grid shutting down, it becomes a real problem as far as this is crazy. What happens is that the people in the upper stories end up dying because they can't cool down. It's a very scary situation. So what you need to do is absolutely be in a panic situation. Everyone should be in a panic at this point. If you're not, you don't know what's going on. You really don't have a clue. And I'm sure I'm talking just to the choir here because you all heard it before. But you should be in a directed panic situation that you are absolutely putting pressure on your politicians and everyone you see, your family, your friends, saying how dire the situation is. If you don't believe what I'm saying, then just look it up on various news media things on Facebook. Stay away from the central media because they never report what is going on, such as MSNBC, NBC. Hold on. Really? So MSNBC and Fox Television, they're absolutely against saving us due to rich people being in charge. So hopefully you'll do your own research and start figuring out what's going on. This is nuts downtown. As you can tell, we are not getting off the fossil fuels, and we are largely screwed. So I'll see you all on July 19th, probably 6:30.